Symmetry and Security. Understanding Symmetric-Key Cryptography Symmetric-Key Cryptography relies on a single shared secret key for both encryption and decryption processes. This approach ensures rapid processing speeds, making it ideal for scenarios requiring high throughput such as file storage solutions and internal network communications. DES and AES. The Data Encryption Standard introduced in 1977 became foundational but eventually succumbed to advances in computing power. Its successor, Advanced Encryption Standard, AES, remains widely adopted due to its robustness against brute force attacks through a well-designed substitution permutation network. AES operates with block sizes of 128 bits while supporting key lengths of 128, 192, or 256 bits. The increased key size provides exponential resistance to exhaustive search attempts, maintaining relevance even against supercomputers' capabilities today. Efficiency. Due to simplified operations compared to asymmetric counterparts, symmetric algorithms can process large volumes of data rapidly without significant performance degradation. Vulnerability concerns. Secure key distribution represents the primary challenge since compromised keys jeopardize entire encrypted datasets regardless of algorithm strength. Modern implementations often combine symmetric encryption with public key infrastructure to address distribution issues effectively. For instance, TLS protocols leverage this hybrid model to establish secure sessions over untrusted networks successfully. Breaking the key barrier. Asymmetric cryptography explained asymmetric or public key cryptography resolves the key distribution dilemma by employing two mathematically linked keys, a publicly available encryption key and a privately held decryption key. This mechanism enables secure communication channels without pre-shared secrets. RSA remains one of the most influential algorithms in this category, derived from number theory principles involving prime factorization difficulties. The algorithm generates key pairs based on large semi-prime numbers, whose factorization becomes computationally impractical as bit length increases. Elliptic curve cryptography, ECC, has emerged as a promising alternative offering equivalent security at smaller key sizes than traditional RSA. By leveraging algebraic structures defined by elliptic curves, ECC achieves higher efficiency, particularly beneficial for constrained environments like mobile devices and IoT applications. Real-world application. Certificate authorities utilize these algorithms extensively to issue digital certificates verifying identity claims during SSL/TLS handshakes, establishing trust foundations for web browsing experiences globally. ECDH, elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman, protocol exemplifies how asymmetric methods facilitate key agreements securely across insecure channels before transitioning to symmetric cipher usage for bulk data protection. Hashing for integrity. The role of message digest algorithms. Message digest algorithms produce fixed-size outputs called hashes that uniquely represent input data. Unlike encryption mechanisms which aim for reversibility, hashing transforms inputs irreversibly, making them indispensable tools for verifying data authenticity. SHA series evolution. While SHA-1 was once standard, research exposing collision vulnerabilities led to its deprecation. Successors like SHA-2, including SHA-256/SHA-512 variants, remain trusted industry benchmarks offering substantial resistance against known attack vectors currently. Blockchain technologies heavily depend on these hashing functions to maintain immutability properties through sequential chaining of blocks referencing previous ones via cryptographic fingerprints. Even minor alterations would propagate changes detectably throughout chains. Merkle trees employ hierarchical structuring patterns combining pairwise hashes iteratively until reaching final root values used for efficient data verification within distributed ledger systems like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Despite advancements, researchers continue exploring newer families such as SHA-3 family members designed with sponge constructions addressing potential weaknesses identified in earlier generations. Authentication mechanisms. Digital signatures overview. Digital signatures extend beyond basic message authentication by proving authorship assertions cryptographically. Through private key signing followed by public key validation steps, Recipients verify originator identities independently verifiable by anyone possessing appropriate verification parameters. RSA-based signature schemes involve modular exponentiation operations transforming messages into signed forms testable via matching modulus parameters inherent to key pair relationships established beforehand. ECDSA, elliptic curve digital signature algorithm, achieves similar objectives but utilizes curve-specific arithmetic, reducing resource demands significantly compared to non-elliptic approaches. This makes ECDSA highly suitable for embedded platforms limited in memory capacity yet needing robust assurance features. Certificate authorities play pivotal roles here too, issuing X.509v3 compliant documents containing verified public keys coupled with relevant metadata concerning entities authorized for specific actions within particular contexts. Possible misuse avenues include man-in-the-middle attacks exploiting weak random number generators during key generation phases, highlighting importance of rigorous implementation practices when deploying production-grade services relying upon digital signatures for operational resilience. Strengthening communication channels. Transport Layer Security Protocol (TLS) establishes end-to-end secured connections between clients and servers, incorporating layered protections spanning key exchange agreements, session establishment routines, and application layer payload encapsulations transparently managed beneath abstraction layers experienced users interact with daily. The handshake phase initiates negotiation determining supported cryptographic suites comprising combinations of key exchange methods, bulk encryption preferences, and message authentication code formats agreed mutually by parties involved prior initiating protected data transfers. Prior versions faced criticism regarding predictable initialization vector selection weaknesses exploited historically. However, subsequent iterations addressed those gaps, implementing stronger randomness sources now deemed industry best practices across sectors demanding highest levels availability assurances. Implementations must carefully balance compatibility requirements, ensuring backwards support without compromising contemporary security baselines, increasingly mandated compliance regulations affecting virtually every online interaction, occurring continuously around globe today. Emerging threat models. Quantum computing implications. Quantum computers pose unprecedented risks to current public key infrastructures, leveraging Shor's algorithm capable factoring large integers efficiently, thus rendering RSA/ECC obsolete overnight. Researchers actively develop lattice-based alternatives perceived resistant future quantum adversaries, although still maturing technically. Post-quantum cryptography proposals encompass diverse categories, including structured lattices problems, NP-hard computations, related nearest neighbor searches amidst high-dimensional spaces, providing plausible hardness guarantees irrespective whether adversary possesses quantum advantage. NIST initiated extensive evaluation program identifying candidates progressing towards standardized norms, aiming replace existing frameworks, gradually minimizing disruption while transitioning safely towards quantum-safe architectures, progressively integrated within ecosystems requiring extended longevity assurances. Industry adoption will require careful phasing strategies, migrating slowly, augmenting legacy systems alongside new implementations, ensuring smooth interoperability periods, allowing seamless transitions, avoiding abrupt failures damaging trust. Relationships vital, sustaining economic activity reliant, digitally interconnected global supply chains. Practical implementation considerations for developers selecting appropriate algorithms depends critically upon threat models considered, relevant scenario context, assessing factors ranging from performance constraints limiting acceptable overhead percentages through regulatory mandates imposing minimum strength thresholds measurable via entropy metrics. Implementation flaws frequently observed include improper padding schemes, vulnerable chosen ciphertext attacks, undermining assumed security guarantees, especially when utilizing vulnerable modes like ECB, unnecessarily exposing spatial correlations, present plaintext distributions otherwise concealed under randomized transformation techniques. Side-channel vulnerabilities manifest physically via leakage, information unintentionally exposed during execution, such timing differences measurable across operations differing subtly depending inputs supplied, potentially extractable. Reconstructing sensitive materials improperly shielded. Memory safety violations represent additional attack surfaces, particularly pertinent software running unverified codebases potentially exploit memory corruption bugs, inducing arbitrary control flow redirects, manipulating cryptographic logic outcomes, maliciously altering expected behaviors, subverting presumed protections intended initially. Evolving landscape. Future directions in cryptographic research. Homomorphic encryption promises revolutionary capabilities, permitting computations performed directly upon encrypted data, preserving privacy attributes. Crucial healthcare. Financial services, requiring confidential analytical operations executed remotely without revealing underlying contents explicitly. Federated learning employs cryptographic primitives, enabling collaborative machine training scenarios, distributing workload fragments across decentralized participants, maintaining individual dataset ownership, simultaneously improving aggregate model quality, collectively achieved without central repository storing raw information susceptible breaches otherwise. ZK snarks enable zero-knowledge proofs, demonstrating knowledge possession without disclosing evidential material itself, revolutionizing verifiable computation fields, facilitating anonymous voting. Blockchain protocols, traceability controls, essential cryptocurrency ecosystems, prioritizing pseudonymity preservation. Ongoing research explores novel multilinear maps, constructible objects, opening doors, complex interactive proof systems, applicable wider range theoretical computer science domains, expanding applicability areas previously thought intractable analytically. Conclusion. Cryptographic algorithms constitute fundamental pillars safeguarding digital society's foundations, securing sensitive transactions, protecting intellectual property rights, maintaining societal functionings, dependent, reliable information exchanges worldwide, constantly evolving, facing emerging threats, adapting accordingly. Developers must stay informed about latest cryptographic advances, comprehend trade-offs, associated implementation choices, select suitable techniques, aligning project requirements, balancing usability concerns, security imperatives, proactively mitigating foreseeable risks. Inherent technological landscape, continuously shifting dynamically according changing circumstances, demand continuous vigilance, sustained investment, maintaining resilient defenses, adequate counteract anticipated adversarial activities threatening core infrastructural components.